Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We know that with a 2-ton piece of high-velocity machinery, there is, in fact, a zero margin for error. Product safety is indeed a life or death issue. But sadly, vehicle safety has fallen short, and it's not the first time. During the late summer of 2000, in this very room, I led the oversight hearings that examined the Ford Firestone recalls. A tire malfunction was causing violent crashes, and Americans did not feel safe behind the wheel. We gathered testimony from the company and agency officials and reviewed thousands and thousands of pages of documents, and we found that the system indeed had failed. Information about the defective tires had been shared with the companies and with NHTSA. The parties failed to protect the public safety, and over 100 people died. After that investigation, I introduced the TREAD Act to correct many of the problems that contributed to the Ford Firestone tragedy. That bill was meant to ensure data about safety is reported so that defects can be quickly identified and fixed, and lives ultimately saved. The TREAD Act has now been law since November 2000, yet here we are investigating another safety failure. It's deja vu all over again. 1 month ago, GM issued a recall for an ignition switch defect in 6 vehicles totaling 1.6 million cars. And last Friday, they recalled another 900,000 vehicles. GM acknowledges that a dozen people have died in automobile crashes associated with that defect. 2 were teenagers from my own community. Testifying today are GM CEO Mary Barra and NHTSA Acting Administrator David Friedman, a first step in our quest to find out what went wrong. The committee's purpose is the same as it was in 2000, making sure that drivers and families are protected and cars are safe. And I'll repeat what I said at the first oversight hearing on Firestone tires in 2000. Today's hearing is very personal to me because I come from Michigan, the auto state, the auto capital of the world. That is no less true today. Michigan is proud of its auto industry, and while Michigan citizens build cars, obviously we drive them too. Documents produced to the committee show that both NHTSA and GM received complaints about and data about problems with ignition switches and airbags. These complaints go back at least a decade. NHTSA engineers did crash investigations as early as 2005 and twice examined whether complaints with airbags constituted a trend. GM submitted early warning reports to NHTSA, including data about crashes in the recalled cars. With all that information available, why did it take so long to issue the recall? In this case, just as it was with Ford Firestone, it was news reports that brought the problem to the nation's attention. This investigation of the recall is indeed bipartisan, as it should be. We'll follow the facts wherever they lead us, and we're going to work until we have the answers and can assure the public that indeed they're safe. And I'd like to note that the chairman of our CMT subcommittee, Mr. Terry, will be joining us for questions this afternoon. With his subcommittee's record on motor vehicle safety issues, he will be watching closely as this investigation unfolds so that he can take our findings and determine whether and what changes may be needed to the laws designed to keep drivers safe on the road. After all, our goal on every issue follows the dingle model. Identify the problem or abuse fully, and where needed, fix it with legislation so that it won't happen again.